the hottest pop culture stories of the day. Like, did Taylor Swift cheat to get number one? Plus, Jennifer Aniston makes a rare comment of her infertility struggles. This is Hot to Go. I'm Brittany.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Mike.
As we know, Taylor Swift is breaking records left and right with her new album, Taylor Swift 12, The Life of a Showgirl. This has always been a conversation of the way that she achieves these numbers, and is it fair? Now, this article is going to a place that Radar Online only can.
Oh, Radar Online. Spelled backwards or forwards?
It's still bad journalism. But the thing is, I think some of this is true, and I think most of this is not. The main thing they're really leaning into is as Adele and other A-list stars are furious. So as we know, Taylor Swift often gets accused of using this, quote, cheap trick to boost her album sales and break records. The idea is she drops so many different versions and album covers and art and things around her album that people eat up. Now, I was looking at how that affects, because we know that when you buy an album, it equates to a certain amount of streams.
Okay.
And like what I can find is album sales directly contribute to their ESU, their equivalent sales unit. And it looks like it's around 1,500 streams per one ESU. Which I don't know, is that good or bad? Like if you buy an album, if you put money towards an album compared to streaming, I don't know. So it's
like, sorry, I just want to make sure I understand. It's like an actual physical like CD or an actual physical record. They're saying you're probably going to listen to it as many times as you would stream it this many times.
Yeah, so that's the number, and that's the one I could find. Who knows like which, like it depends even if it's to Spotify, to Apple, like which ones you're even looking at. But like at some point, the record industry had to kind of think of like, what would buying an album, buying a CD, what would that look like in the streaming world so that you can compare and contrast? So it's always been that way. Now, also, there's this thing called like buying the digital. Buying a digital, it is equal to different number as well. So Taylor Swift, and again, I don't know if this is just she knows the demand is there or if it's like we're dying to hit these numbers and these numbers mean so much to us. But either way, she plays it. She plays it well. To that you go, now, are we in a place of Taylor Swift, how dare you? Or Taylor Swift knows how to play the game? I don't know. But I can promise you Adele does not lose sleep over losing this record that she held for so freaking long. Like, into that, like you go, especially, what year was it? Oh my gosh, I lost
2015.
it. 2015, 10 years ago, Adele held the highest streaming records for her album. And it's like, that's 10 years she held that.
Right. And also, Adele, I feel like would be the first person to send a cake.
Right?
She'd be like, congratulations, queen. I'm going to bait you next time.
She'd be like, that's neat. I was doing something else when that happened. I'm sorry. I missed it, doll.
I was smoking a cigarette and someone said, hey, did you see Taylor Swift beat your record?
I want to know where you guys fall. Because as we know, I'm a ride or die Swiftie. And I don't see this to be a problem because it'd be one thing if she was like secretly buying them herself or like paying people to listen. But what are your thoughts on when Taylor Swift kind of does the thing where she sells albums in different versions to get the numbers up, or when she releases things throughout the whole weeks to keep her streaming numbers up longer?
I don't think it's an issue because anybody could do it, right? Like Cardi B just had an album release, the first time in years, since 2018. That album had a ton of songs on it. She could have done the same thing. She could have said, here's my glitter, my glam, and my Gucci versions of the album. Oh, and then I'm going to release this song. Oh, and I'm going to release this song. But she didn't. She did it a different way. And I'm not even saying that's just Cardi. She's just also released a big album recently. Anybody could do this. They're choosing not to, or they just don't have the support when it comes to fans, numbers that Taylor Swift does. They go, it's not worth our time, which then just circles back to she's able to do this because so many people want to ingest her music.
Yeah, I completely agree. Anyone can do it. They don't do it because no one's going to be there for it. And the other thing is, too, as Brittany alluded to, this record stood since 2015. That means Reputation. That means Lover, Evermore, Folklore. These are all albums, including all the Taylor's versions that Taylor has released since then. If this Dirty Trick is like, oh, something only Taylor does, well, I went all those other ones had enough here to beat 25, the album from Adele. It's not like, and again, we hear this all the time, especially when it comes to Spotify or other outlets like that. There was the whole controversy with Drake and with Kendrick Lamar and payola and all these different things you hear in the radio industry and you hear in the streaming now industry, and this idea of pay for play. Like, there's so much of this always going on and always in the conversation. I think she's just so polarizing right now, and she's the one who just released an album. That's why she's getting it tied to her.
Oh, totally. And if any album, I'm glad you brought up her other albums. I didn't even think of that. But like, Tortured Poets Department had 75 versions of it.
Yeah.
That album was so freaking long, and it slowly became the longest album ever. If anyone else was going to do it, it would have been Taylor with her last album.
Yeah.
It's just a stupid argument. And to your point, Brittany, like, Adele ain't losing sleep over this. And other artists, if they are jealous of it, they need to, like, take a beat, look at themselves in the mirror and go, okay, well, then how do I beat it?
Yeah. Why can't I use that model? Why,
right.
Like, I think you're right, Kendall. I think you made a lot of great points of like, just do it then.
Just do it. I mean, there's very few artists that could even come close, right? Just because of her popularity. But there are artists out there that could be like, I could give her a run for her money.
Yeah.
It's true.
I love that.
All right. On to Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
I love Jennifer Aniston. I don't really know a lot of Americans who don't love Jennifer Aniston.
She's very likable.
She's a likable woman. She was just on Harper's Bazaar UK and talked about how it really hurt her that for over about 20 years, there was this narrative around her that she didn't want children, that she was just this busy Hollywood actress. She was too big to have kids.
And cold. Everyone always leaned into like, oh, Brad wanted kids and she didn't because she's so cold.
It just was so negative about her. And she goes, it just was awful. They had no idea what my story was, what I'd been going through for the past 20 years, 2 decades, to try and pursue a family because I don't go out there and tell them all my medical woes. She's like, I actually make a point of making sure it's nobody's business what I'm going through on a personal side, especially my medical history. It came to a point, though, where the narrative about how I won't have a baby, won't have a family, I'm selfish, I'm a workaholic. She's like, it did affect me. Like, I'm a human being. And not only was it not true, but it was the exact opposite because I was struggling so much to do just the opposite of that. She's like, it was such a hard time. And I feel like I needed to right the ship back when in 2016, she wrote an op-ed for the Huffington Post basically saying like, here's the truth. Here's what's actually going on. Like, y'all need to shut up. You go, it doesn't matter how famous you are.
No.
It doesn't matter how rich you are. Like, stuff still hurts.
Yeah.
People make up lies about you, especially something that's so polar opposite of what you're trying to do.
Yes.
It deeply affects you.
1,000%, Kendall. I think you said it so beautifully is like, you don't, as somebody who I went through infertility struggles, you don't want to say them also while they're going on. I never even considered myself the word infertile.
Right.
Until like I had a kid, which is so stupid, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it took us so long to have it. I was, that's the term they use. And we had to go to infertility clinics and we had to use science to help us make go-go. And like, it's something that when you're in it, there's no way you could say it. I don't know. And maybe people can, and that's great for them. I know people that do live their like, IUI, IVF life out loud. I couldn't. But I respect, either side of it, but I understand the people that go, I can't do it while I'm in it.
Yeah, because it feels very precious. It feels very much like it could be taken away from you at any second if something happens. And imagine, like in a positive or negative way.
And like, again, like there are people in this world that they let us go on their journey with them. I didn't want to talk to everyone about it. Mm-hmm. Like the little things, the losses are so big and so personal and so frequent.
Right.
So it's like the idea of her like letting us in that side while it was happening, you're asking too much of anybody, but especially somebody who's a public figure like that. That's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It is.
Plus, being a public figure, I feel like they would easily turn her into, there we go, there's a spokesperson kind of for this, and want her to talk even more about her journey when that's maybe not how she wants to handle this.
Right.
Like, they would instantly, so many people, because the way the tabloids run with news stories and everything, this would be prime news and everyone would be talking about it.
Especially right after things ended with Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been the opportunity of a lifetime for her to say, I'm sorry, this is the opposite of what's going on. It has nothing to do with if I want children. In fact, I'm dying to have children.
And the headlines back then were awful.
Vicious.
You know what they would have ran with too is like, infertile Jen sad as Brad moves on with fertile young Jennifer, or no, for Angelina Jolie. Like, it would have been brutal for her.
And it already was when you think about like how that was the narrative around Angelina Jolie. It was like she was a mother already, and like she was willing to give him more babies. I can't fathom what Jennifer Aniston went through hearing about that, because even if she didn't read it, like it's still in the zeitgeist. She still knew it was out there. She was bound to run into it. Like, the therapy it would take to like be able to just live with grace and keep doing your thing.
Yeah. I think she played it the right way. And unfortunately, no matter in which way she played it, it's just an easy trope to say the rich, famous, successful woman was so cold she didn't want kids.
Right.
It's just easier that way. We can, that's something we can stomach, we can understand, we're more comfortable with that narrative.
Yep.
Justin Bieber. I don't even know if we reported on this. So we've talked about it before. We were like, hey, is Justin Bieber still close with his mom, Patty? Well, I don't think so at all. About, it was like 2 weeks ago or so, Patty shared a very cryptic message on Instagram about cheering and praying for her son always, and the baby, he's my baby, all these things like that. To which Justin commented, only thing I need healing from is my rolled pinky toe from playing ping pong.
Huh?
Okay.
I'm going to need you to give me that one more time, because it's so weird that I'm like, did I hear you right?
But you guys remember we were wondering where like the Patty and his relationship was at, and we're kind of like, we thought it was strained, but we weren't sure.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize that Patty had done a post around like always praying for her son, and hope that he, she's always rooting for him, always praying for him, and hoping healing for him. To which Justin Bieber responded, only thing I need healing from is my rolled pinky toe from playing ping pong.
Oh, God. It's not only not grateful or like quiet, that's just a straight up slap. Like, oh, you think you can publicly out loud pray for me, quote unquote? I don't need you.
I don't need you.
And I'm going to make you seem foolish.
It's very bothered. Like, it's not an unbothered response. It's a very like, he sat on that and was like, this is what I'm writing.
I want it to be very clear that my mom has nothing to do with me, and her prayers are not warranted or wanted.
Yeah, her original post had the sentences, I declare freedom, strength, clarity, and healing over you, Justin. Heal every wound in his heart and body, seen and unseen. Kind of like a group prayer kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that's where he went to the only thing I need healing from is my rolled pinky toe from playing ping pong.
Like, I get it. If my mom posted something about pray for me and I didn't say, like, I'm having surgery, like she'd just seen some unhinged posts or the paparazzi issues of it all that, like, he was going through at the time, I still would go to, like, why are you not just messaging me? You don't need to include the public. You don't need to, like, what right do you have to make it seem like I'm off the rails?
Yeah, it's very Frida Dalton.
It's weird. So I do get why he wasn't happy with it, and clearly not by the way he responded. I just don't think he needed to respond at all.
Yeah, I think that's the move, you just let it sit.
If this story sounds familiar, you may not remember 2 years ago, Hailey Bieber came out and was reportedly very, very unhappy when her dad, Stephen Baldwin, publicly asked for prayers given their situation. So this is almost the exact same story 2 years later, just now we're getting it from his side instead of hers. It's wild.
Listen, the moral of the story, people, don't be asking people for prayers.
No.
If the person you're asking about did not ask you to do it.
Even if they did, maybe just like verbalize it in the office, the old water cooler. Hey guys,
friends.
Prayers for Kendall. She's
unhinged.
She's unhinged
and unwell.
She's overall just needs prayers. And they'll be like, she's literally right there. I'm like, no, you should see her. Watch her for an hour or two. You'll get what I'm saying.
This reminds me so much of the Dolly Parton news where Dolly says very vague terms. I'm so sorry. And the only reason she said anything is because she had to reschedule shows in Vegas. She said, I'm so sorry. I have this end quote 100,000-mile tune-up. It's not with my plastic surgeon. My doctor wants me to do this. I'll be fine. I just want to make sure I'm in great shape for all of you and can put on a good performance. That's all we heard. That's all that mattered. And then her sister's like, everybody please pray for Dolly.
Frida Dalton.
You're literally like, oh my God, what's wrong?
Frida Dalton went to a place of, I've been asked to ask for prayers for Dolly on Tuesday.
Right.
And the whole internet went crazy. Like, Dolly's gonna die. We were at a place of like, oh my God. Like we sat here quietly kind of staring at each other.
Yeah.
And then Stella, the other sister, said, so, sometimes when people say things inappropriately, that was that. But also she has kidney stones. And we're like, okay, now you just gave another secret away.
Family, stop. Because Dolly herself came out and a video. This woman had to get ready for a video and goes, do I look that sick to you?
I'm alive, bitch.
It's just like, people stop publicly asking for prayers for your loved ones, especially if they're famous and especially if they didn't ask you to do it.
Yeah. Amen.
We also have some more details. We knew there was a falling out at the end of Kevin Costner's run on Yellowstone with Taylor Sheridan. It's been much discussed. There was a falling out, butting heads, two very powerful men in Hollywood, maybe had different visions. We're getting some details finally. Some actual details from eyewitnesses. According to the Hollywood Reporter that just ran a huge story about Kevin Costner right now. And I mean, it goes into basically the lowest of lows of his career and why he's in the place that he's in right now. And it is a long article, but you can check it out, Hollywood Reporter. But the big thing everyone is taking away is this heated physical altercation that he had with Wes Bentley. I know the two of you don't watch Yellowstone, but many people do. And Kevin Costner's character of John Dutton he was having a scene with two of his on-screen kids, Wes Bentley, who played Jamie, and then also Kelly Riley, who plays Beth, one of the most beloved characters on the show.
Absolutely.
So those three are all sitting around the table. And I guess what happened is at one point, Kevin Costner was like, hey, I know this is what's in the script, but Wes, I think you should do this a little differently. Now, here's the thing. Kevin Costner is an executive producer, but he's not the creator. He's not the guy writing the scripts. He's not the one whose vision is trying to be upheld here. That's Taylor Sheridan. And he told Wes Bentley, I think this is what you should do. Let's get away from Taylor's script and personalize it a little bit with some ad-libbing. And to which point, according to an eyewitness, Bentley refused and said to his on-screen dad, this is Taylor Sheridan's call, not your call. I'm going to stick with what the guy who's writing my checks tells me to do. Kevin didn't like that. Not at all. He reportedly lunged at Wes. The two of them got in a heated argument, screaming at each other. Their faces are right next to each other. Kelly Riley, Beth, breaks down in tears sitting at the table, and they had to end up pausing production for hours until they could get the situation resolved.
Dang.
So according to eyewitnesses, again, in this big Hollywood Reporter story, and Wes, I guess, was very beloved with the cast, even though his character is pretty heinous and pretty awful on the show. He is beloved, I guess, with the cast. So when they heard about this was just another kind of the beginning of the end, it felt like, for Kevin Costner and all those demands that he ended up making of Taylor Sheridan.
There are so many things going around about Kevin Costner and how he's awful to work with in this realm where he doesn't have all creative control.
Yeah.
I think this is a case of once you've been driving the bus, it's hard to be a passenger, especially when you have a giant ego. And the thing is, Taylor Sheridan, we don't hear a lot of awful things about him, except like I don't even know if you can call it an ego because he does produce and he follows through.
Right.
So like if he has an ego, it's rightfully so. I mean, he's made them bajillions of bucks. So you've got Taylor Sheridan, who's proven the golden boy of Paramount, and you've got Kevin Costner, who has made a lot of things happen. Like Dancing with Wolves was never supposed to be made. And early, when that was one of those movies that was, to this day, people are like, one of the best movies in the world. I'm so glad you pushed to get this through. So he's somebody who's also been praised for like going a little rogue and making decisions and, again, driving the bus. So you have two drivers of the bus, but one doesn't know that we took its license away for the, Yellowstone. So it's just like such a recipe for disaster. And of course he said, this is how you should do your line. And of course he was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I can't believe it came to fists though. Like there must have been some insane tension before this happened.
Definitely. And I will say they did specifically say it did not come to fists. They did not throw any fists, but they were shoving each other. They made it clear to mention that part, but they were in each other's faces, screaming at each other again, enough that made Beth, the actress who played Beth, Kelly Riley, break down in tears. And it's also interesting, too, because you got to think Taylor Sheridan's so busy.
Yeah.
And he's doing so many shows. He can't be on set every day.
He can't.
So the people that has beneath him who are like, hey, by the way, we're shooting this. I don't care what Kevin says. This is what's happening. In addition to Wes, I'm sure they've had those conversations. But the people who are the showrunners when he's not on location, those people got to be pretty stern as well to be like, Kevin, I don't care. You don't write our checks.
And at the same time, they're also people that are huge fans of film, and Kevin Costner's a legend.
Yeah.
So that power dynamic would be so crazy. Like, yeah, I know I'm a 35-year-old in this business, but like, Dad said we're not supposed to. Okay, bye, Kevin. You can do it your way. Like I don't know what personality trait would even be able to sustain that.
Yeah. No, you would absolutely be like, I'm okay. I'll just ask later. You're the one in front of me yelling at me, so I'm going to go with whatever you say.
You're Kevin freaking Costner.
Yeah.
And I also kind of have to laugh that they're like, their little shoving match. And I get it. Violence is awful. We hate it. We don't want to do it.
I'm laughing. Violence is awful.
But like also the fact that they're like, not the face though, right? Like we're both pretty boys with our whole career. Like shove, 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 shove. It's very like,
stop that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like scary, but also like, two actors fighting.
That's bad.
I'd be like, kiss, kiss.
We know.
We know.
We know.
And maybe they did later.
Nope. They probably didn't.
We'll never know.
Oh, God.
It's that hot. Okay, I have the most obvious story of the century. Cody Brown, as we know him from, oh my God,
Sister Wives?
Sister Wives.
Sister Wives. I wanted to say Secret Lives of Sister Wives.
Nope, just Sister Wives.
Just
straight
Sister
up.
Wives.
And
Original.
secret.
Original. Ain't no secret here. Well, E! News is reporting that he has strained relationships with most of his adult children. He's a dad of 18, that should be noted as well. He says that a lot of them will not talk to him, and he's kind of going to a place of like, come on, guys, it's me, Daddy. And they're like, no phone, who dis?
Yeah.
The majority of them are either saying, we just don't even take his calls, we're not talking to him. And I just had to go. And if you've seen any of this show, I'm sure both of you have seen clips, or I know
yes,
that. I know
just at least clips of it.
Mike, you've watched it.
Yeah, I've watched it. Did they mention he also has strange relationships with most of his wives, too?
Yeah, I think only one of them's still around, right?
Yeah, he's got strained relationships with everybody in his life.
To be clear, he's just now wives? The show's
Wife.
just wives now?
Wife. Just one wife.
But it still focuses on all of the previous wives.
Oh, God.
And he is actually, though, one thing I will say is we've watched a little bit of Special Forces with him on it.
Yeah.
They aren't holding back. Like the producers of Special Forces, the World's Toughest Test, where he's on with a bunch of celebrities, they know we don't like Cody Brown, and they are attacking him, and they're showing other people going after him. He's turning into a punching bag.
And how's he taking it?
Fine. I think he just keeps cashing checks. He doesn't care.
I love
It's basically been Sister Wives for the last 10 years. Is just him being a punching bag.
All right,
What a
Cody.
dirty, dirty dog.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Your children don't want to see you because you had multiple wives.
18 kids.
Yeah, and maybe you didn't pay enough attention to any of them.
Find one that likes you.
Ugh.
I hope you like, subscribe, all of the things. Comment on this video.